Hey, this is Joe with 7 Footer Doing Stuff. I'm gonna remake a video I did before. This is the video with the .177 pellet gun. You can see all the pellets here. We're doing this vertical stringing. I didn't really even notice it until someone in the comments said that, and so I started doing some research to figure out what could be causing it. What I found was the barrel on this Silent Cat is a little bit loose, but that wasn't it. You'll remember it used to have a scope on it, and what I was noticing is when I looked down the scope, if I had my cheek in the perfect spot right on the target, the gun fixtured perfectly, I could move my eye up and down and it would move that crosshair 1 inch. So I knew that it was the position of my face relative to the scope that was changing that vertical line of aiming. I didn't want to have all that error in there. So now I'm going to shoot it with an open sight. Now the open sight is on the barrel that's fixed, but I know that that scope, depending on how I had my cheek, would go an inch high or an inch low. So we're going to do all the pellets over again with an open sight, and you'll see these pellet guns aren't even accurate enough for a scope. They're only as accurate as an open sight is. So there's no real point to have a scope. So let me get it all set up and we'll go through that. All right, so the first pellet is the same as before. Upper left corner will be the hollow point. Then it'll be the pointed version. Then it will be the red fire. And then it's going to be the Silent Cat, which is the heavy pellet. And then it's going to be the PBA, which is the non-lead. These are supposed to break the sound barrier. With this little silencer, I couldn't hear it break the sound barrier. And then the last one is going to be these diesel pellets that have the WD-40 on them, and they should break the sound barrier also. So I have them all in that order in my little gun here. I got the camera running down there at the book, so I'm gonna, okay, so these are gonna be the first, they're gonna be the hollow point. You'll see that this open sight is pretty accurate. Well, we'll see. Trying to go fast for the sake of the video. Okay, so these are the pointed Gamo Premiers. These targets are really small, so my front sight completely buries the whole target, so it takes a little while longer to aim than normal. All right, these should be the red fire. Last red fire. Okay, these are the Silent Cats. These are the ones that are, what, 10 cents a pellet? 15 cents a pellet? Oh, that was a weird sound. So that first one was stuck in the barrel of the Silent Cats, so it probably was very inaccurate. This one went in very nicely. It'll probably shoot really well. Sounded loud also. Yeah, I thought the Silent Cats would be silenter. Okay, so these are the PBAs, non-lead. They should fly pretty fast. We'll see. Didn't break the sound barrier. Let's see how accurate they are though. Okay, the last PBA. All right, now the diesel pellets. Does that sound louder? Yeah, I can smell the burning WD-40. That might be a little loud. All right, last pellet. All right, let's go take a look. All right, so let's look at the upper left. That's a good group. That was the premieres. You see before, I had some vertical stringing a little bit. Now they're just tight. This was before. Now I'm put two in the same hole. Still a little high. This is for the premieres, but not the hollow point. These are the red fires before vertical stringing. Now I put them in a group. Now this group, part of it is these targets were so small, it was completely covered by my front sight. So that's probably user error. That's probably my fault. And that's the same that could be up here. These are the Silent Cats. They made a pretty good group, but you can see there's no vertical stringing there. These are the PBAs. This was them before. That could be user error also. Before the dieseled ones, put them right in the same hole. This time I spread them all over the place. I don't know. That could be user error also. I want to try it again with a bigger target that I can actually see that I'm putting it right in the middle of. Anyway, I don't think the results would change for how deep they went into the book, except for this right here. They went really deep because I put so many of them in the same hole. I mean, usually the hollow points didn't even hardly break the surface, but I kept pounding them one after another. The same with this one. I put 2 in the same hole here, so that one went pretty deep. You can see they've combined into one pellet. And then the PVAs, once again, perfect. I could probably shoot them again. They went deep. The Silent Cats, once again, didn't even break the surface. So the Silent Cat is not made for penetration. They're slow moving and really heavy. And then we'll check on the there's the red fires. They didn't leave the tight group, didn't leave the cover. And the diesel ones, you can see the PVAs still really deep. The diesel ones still, man, they made a big, but you could hear the difference on the diesel ones. They were moving fast. Anyway, the next thing I'm gonna do, now that I know it's the scope that's causing the vertical stringing, my front sight, not quite accurate enough for these tiny little targets. I have a Nikon scope. Nikon's not necessarily a good brand. Better than the Gamo one. I'm gonna put that Nikon scope on this pellet gun, and I think that scope will make it so that moving my eye up and down doesn't move the crosshairs up and down. Okay, I went and I didn't like the results over here of my diesel pellets and my PBA pellets, so I went out and shot those 2 over again with a bigger target so I could make sure I was putting my front sight right in the middle because I could see it. And as you can see, the diesel pellets, I put 2 in the same hole, another one right in the bullseye. These are kind of flyers, but so that's 3 pellets right there. And then these are the PBAs. I was able to put them, you know, in a much smaller target. So this was user error. So those do fly pretty good. Let's see if they went any deeper. Yeah, so you can see those PBAs all right tightly grouped together, poking through. And then if you look here, these are all those dieseled. Oh, they made it even further than that. See, these are all the dieseled pellets. You can see that the good thing about those hollow points, they flatten. So you know that's gonna be good for putting impact damage on an animal. But you can see that, and that's pretty accurate. There's some more of those diesel pellets. Anyway, I'm gonna keep trying to figure this out. Like and subscribe if you want to keep up on I'm gonna figure out how to make a 177 pellet gun accurate. Like, I want them all to go in the same holes. I mean, to me, that's the only thing that's acceptable. And so I'm gonna figure it out. And it might be buying a more and more expensive scope. All right, we'll see you next time.